Hey guys, Kevin Kreider here with Pursue More Than Just Muscle. Can women do intermittent fasting? And how? Yes, absolutely, women can do intermittent fasting, and I totally suggest it, and you should really give it a try. Women just have to do intermittent fasting a little bit differently than is suggested by most of the stuff you read and see all over the internet. And basically, women should do alternate day intermittent fasting to start off with. Alternate day is kind of exactly what it sounds like. One day you do intermittent fasting, the next day you don't. Don't do it 2 days consecutively in a row. Also, those days that you do intermittent fasting, don't do weight training. Do more like yoga or slow steady cardio or a group fitness class or something that's a little bit less intense on the weights, because you don't want to mess with your hormones too much, because intermittent fasting will change your hormone structure a little bit in the sense, not structure, it'll change the way your hormones interact first thing in the morning, because you're used to shutting down your growth hormone and epinephrine, norepinephrine right away because you have breakfast right away and your insulin. It happens with guys too, but women are a little bit more sensitive to this based off of the way they're built, is that you're a little bit more sensitive to the hormonal changes. And trust me, it's not like a bad thing, it's just that you have to do it a little bit more delicately, a little bit differently than the guys would do. So try to do that every other day, and instead of a 16-hour fasting period, try a 14-hour fasting period, and only when you wake up 4 hours, then you can break your fast. I would also suggest in that period, like maybe an hour or two before you break your fast, maybe you want to have a little bit of fruit, a little whey protein shake and water. I know that technically breaks the fast, but that will help you get adjusted. So maybe the next week you can try having that fruit snack or that protein shake an hour before you break your fast. And then what'll happen is you'll get to that full 4 hours, and then you can try to push the feeding window back to 5 hours, and then 6 hours, and then you keep doing it alternate day. You just have to ease into it a little bit more gradually. You're a little bit more sensitive to hunger and your hormonal changes. So try to do it that way, and don't do intermittent fasting on the days that you train. And then maybe what'll eventually happen is you can start doing 4 days. And I know that's not alternate intermittent fasting. Actually, it's, you're gonna do 2 days in a row eventually, but the whole point is to get very adjusted to it much slower, because you are more sensitive to it, and you have the hormones changing a little bit. Like, you don't want to lose your menstrual cycle or your ability to give birth, so that's why you would do a little bit slower gradually, and then maybe eventually some hardcore people can do it every day if they want to, but just get used to it and adjusted. I didn't get used to it and adjusted that fast either. There were days that I would have 2 fruit snacks, like an apple and a banana, and technically it was breaking my fast, but it got me to it, so I got adjusted to the intermittent fasting, and now I barely have fruit. It's only if I'm like going for a 18 to 20 hour fasting period will I even have fruit now. I'll just keep drinking black coffee, which you should do. Have black coffee, and if you need to, have a little bit of splash of milk or some creamer or stevia just to get adjusted, but eventually I like to see you get off that. These are just ways to create habits so you stick with the intermittent fasting, and then eventually, slowly, you can stop getting off of that stuff. So that's what I suggest for women with intermittent fasting. Please, guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel, the free intermittent fasting handbook. The link is down in the description below. Download it, it's free, and I'll see you guys next week.